It takes exactly 3 days for a perfect marriage to turn into a crime scene. I was holding a bowl of rice when my new life shattered across the kitchen floor. Garrett stood over the ruins of our dinner with a terrifying look that I had never seen before. I realized right then that the sweet man I married was completely gone. My name is Valerie, and I always believed that actions speak louder than words. Just 72 hours after our City Hall wedding, Garrett showed his true colors. Gravy splattered across my legs, while a sharp piece of broken plate scratched my foot. He demanded to know if I was deaf, because I was not responding to his screaming. He claimed that I was a member of the Vance family now, and had to obey their specific rules. His mother Beatrice told him that a man must break his wife early so she remains submissive. Garrett demanded my entire paycheck for a joint account his mother monitored. He expected me to handle all chores using only my personal savings. I calmly set down my bowl and looked at this man who smelled of heavy whiskey and garlic. He warned me that if a woman talks back, she gets a smack in the face. It was shocking because before the wedding he was incredibly gentle. He took me to expensive dinners and always asked for permission just to hold my hand. Garrett did not realize that he had married someone with a very dangerous set of skills. My own father was an abusive man who beat my mother until she ran away when I was 3. He turned his anger on me, leaving bruises that I hid from everyone at school. That cycle of pain continued until an old martial arts master intervened. Mr. Henderson ran a local dojo and saved me from my father when I was 7 years old. He taught me that we do not learn to fight to bully others but to protect ourselves. I spent my youth training in traditional karate and full contact kickboxing until my hands bled. I earned my black belt and became a professional combat coach. For the past 3 years, I managed the entire athletic program at our local community center. I could easily take down the biggest men in the gym without breaking a sweat. Garrett never breathed a word to ask about my job during our 6-month engagement. He assumed I was just a quiet office secretary who handled paperwork all day long. His mother Beatrice always interrupted me whenever I tried to talk about my career. She treated me like property and demanded that my family buy Garrett a brand new car. Garrett begged me to just keep the peace until the wedding was officially over. I foolishly believed his promises that we would live our own lives once we moved out. Back in the ruined dining room, I unexpectedly started laughing at his ridiculous threats. Garrett became furious and lunged forward, thinking I was completely defenseless. I dropped my center of gravity and delivered a flawless technical kick directly to his chest. He flew backward into the entertainment center and collapsed onto the hardwood floor, gasping for air. He grabbed a heavy wooden chair and tried to smash it over my head out of anger. I easily dodged the strike and used a quick throat strike to stop his breathing for a few seconds. I forced him onto the floor right into the spilled gravy and grabbed his phone. I started recording his voice as he admitted his abusive plans. Garrett whimpered as I twisted his arm and forced him to speak directly into the microphone. He confessed that Beatrice told him to establish dominance on the very first day of marriage. I played a voice note from his mother that ordered him to strike me if I refused to surrender my money. The evidence of their conspiracy was officially secured. The next morning, Beatrice arrived early to see if her son had successfully broken my spirit. I used makeup to look exhausted and walked into the living room with slumped shoulders. I pretended to be a terrified victim, just like the battered women I had helped at the gym. Beatrice smiled with cruel satisfaction, believing that their abusive plan worked. She listed her demands and grabbed my chin tightly with her cold, bony fingers. She told me that the man is the master, and I was born to serve. I slowly pushed her hand away and stood up straight with a freezing glare. The submissive act was over, and it was time to show her exactly who she was dealing with. I told her that my salary belonged to me, and her son could make his own food. Beatrice lost her mind and screamed at Garrett to hit me immediately for talking back. Garrett stood frozen against the wall, clutching his bruised ribs because he knew better. I threw my official black belt certificates and coaching licenses onto the table. I explained that domestic violence is a serious felony, and I had everything recorded on my phone. If either of them ever threatened me again, they would be leaving in a police car. Beatrice collapsed onto the couch, looking completely deflated as her absolute power vanished. Garrett looked like a terrified child hiding behind his mother after realizing his mistake. I picked up my packed suitcase and told them that women deserve absolute respect. Garrett begged me for a second chance, but I only felt intense disgust for him. I paid for this house, and I would let the lawyers handle the divorce details. I walked out the front door, into the fresh morning air, leaving their toxicity behind. My phone rang, and it was my assistant coach Julian asking if I needed any help. I told him that everything was perfect, and I would see everyone at the gym. I learned that you must never let anyone define your worth or dim your light. If you love stories about standing up for yourself, subscribe for more.